It is time for Ye Olde Gossip, and this one is going to hit close to home this week because Abby is heading out of town.
I'm headed to Indiana, so while I was Googling murders in Indiana, I found a little Ye Olde Gossip, because there's nothing better than a little small-town scandal, and this one comes from a 1920s preacher who laid hands on one of his congregants, probably in more ways than one. We live in the big city. We live in Atlanta, so, when you think of a small town, you might think, might be a little boring. Like, the most exciting thing this week was how Earls Cow got loose and ended up at the Dollar General. Well, in Martinsville, Indiana in 1922, they said, "Hold my lemonade," and delivered a scandal so spicy, the whole state had to fan itself with the church bulletin. The star of our story is Reverend Enoch G. Hogshire. Yes, Hogshire, which sounds less like a man of God and more like a discount bacon section at Piggly Wiggly. This guy had everything: charms, good looks, and a marriage license, which in preacher math is just temptation waiting to happen. Enter Clara Carl. She's young, stylish, and mysteriously single. A lot like someone else you might know.
There's no mystery. We all know why.
So Clara had that flapper era magnetism. She was the kind of woman who could walk past the men's Sunday school class and suddenly they're all reading Song of Solomon, which is like PORN, but in the Bible. I feel weird saying that word on air. All right, one summer day, the church has a picnic at the lake. The kids are playing tag. The deacons are in straw hats. Somebody named Mrs. Whitaker is probably aggressively guarding her deviled eggs like they're the Ark of the Covenant. And somehow, Reverend Hogshire and Clara take a private stroll, which in church language means we're about to star in our own forbidden chapter of the Old Testament. Wink, wink. That means they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hours later.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, I just had to make sure you guys got that message.
I appreciate it.
Hours later, Clara is found floating in the lake, still in her Sunday best, because you got to look good for the Lord when you're going to meet him. Stockings, heels, hat, the whole Easter parade. That's not swimming attire. That is, I intend to haunt the shoreline for eternity attire. The Reverend claims she was cooling off and accidentally drowned. Really? Cooling off in a corset in August? No, that's not what happens. That's not cooling off. That's boiling yourself like a Victorian tea bag. And then the letters come out. Love letters, flirty, scandalous letters. They're the kind of notes you pass in church that don't say John 3:16. They say, "Meet me behind the hymnals, big boy." The town goes nuts. People pack into the courtroom like it's a premiere of a Marvel movie, but with more gossip and fewer capes. They're selling popcorn outside. It's a whole event. And the jury acquits him because apparently in 1922 they don't have a lot of technology to figure out who murdered people. Or maybe they thought, if this man can preach 3 hours without water, he probably didn't need to drown anybody. So here's the wildest part. He stayed at that church. He kept preaching at the same church. Imagine going to Sunday service, looking at the pulpit and thinking, yeah, that's the guy from the murder trial. Every time they sang, "Shall we gather at the river?" half the congregation just stared at him and was like, too soon, too soon. So what's the takeaway? Small towns, they are not boring. Church scandals are forever. And if you're ever in Indiana and a handsome man says, "Let's go cool off by the lake," bring a Bible, bring a friend, and for the love of God, bring a life jacket.
What if this weekend he's listening to this and he goes,
We're going to go by the lake.
"Let's go to the lake"?
I was looking up local lakes in Crawfordsville, Indiana, just so I know which ones to avoid. If he's like, "Oh yeah, this one has a beautiful view of the moonlight," I'm like, I heard what happened to Clara Carl and Reverend Enoch Hogshire, the Piggly Wiggly Bacon Man. I'm not falling for that in your Indiana slyness.
Good luck this weekend in Crawdad.
Thank you.
Is that the name of it?
No, I have no idea.
The Bert Show.